Yo, welcome to Third Coast Sports TV too, man. Because my damn phone wasn't plugged in. I didn't even know my damn phone was dying. So I just ended that stream. I didn't want to resume because I knew it wasn't gonna be that many people that was gonna end up coming through. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wait for a few of y'all to go ahead and start coming in because I wanted to get finished talking about this because I'm probably gonna end up doing a mock draft video after this one. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for a few more of y'all to go ahead and come through, man, because the damn stream ended up getting cut short because my damn phone ended up dying. So y'all still coming back on in here so we can continue the conversation from the last video. Y'all hit that like button if y'all just coming through, man. Let me and everybody who's in here, let me know who's in here. Yeah, I'm back in. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, man, we was getting on the road, man, and the fucking my phone ended up dying on me. I had to plug that bitch in. Shit sucks. That shit done happened to me once before. I was in the middle of a stream and the shit ended up doing. My volume's up. My volume's all the way up. It's probably just because I wasn't close enough to the damn thing. My volume's all the way up, and I'm not covering up my speaker or nothing like that. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah, man. But it's a few of y'all in here, so we'll go ahead and we'll just get back into talking about what we were talking about. What was the last point I was making in the last video? I think we was talking. I want to say we was talking about JJ or something like that. I can't quite remember. Anybody who was in the last part of the stream, let me know let me know where we were at because I honestly don't even remember where the fuck we was at. I might just end up talking. What's your ideal Texas draft? Oh yeah, and we'll talk. Okay, we'll finish talking about that. But I asked Tommy Savage a question real quick. Honestly, I think we could still beef up the corner. We could still beef up corner just a little bit, but definitely pass rushers. Pass rushers behind the outside linebackers, and I gotta preface that because when I say pass rushers, people think I'm talking about J.J. Watt and just Whitney Merciless and Clowney. When we need guys behind them, just in case if any one of those guys go out, we definitely could show up. Definitely could show up fucking the safety position a little bit more. So I definitely see it, and I'm gonna end. Matter of fact, I'm gonna save what you just said because I'm doing a mock draft video right after this one. When this video is over, y'all make sure y'all tune in because I did two mock drafts the other day, and I'm gonna go ahead and put those. I'm gonna do a 4 and 5 for those, so I'm gonna end up doing two more videos because since I've been slacking on videos over the last few weeks, so I'm gonna put out 4 videos today. And in terms of the yeah, so just make sure you tune in to that video. And in terms of JJ's decline, I was just saying like not I mean it's just his body. If we really have this and we talking about other players who can really match him in the league, and I think I was talking about Khalil Mack before it was happening, and we were talking about him not really being close. I don't even consider him as a top defender in the league. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's top 15, but he's not a top 10 defender to me in this league. Not when I think of dudes who take over and win games and the reason that teams are winning. Um, Derek Carr is the reason they were winning. Even the season that he was the defensive MVP, they did not win games because of Khalil Mack. He made some plays, but he didn't come alive until like the second half of games. It's evidence of this. And when you go look at his tape from 2 years ago when he won the defensive player of the year, he wasn't showing up the whole game. He was only showing up portions of the game. Y'all go ahead, y'all hit that like button if y'all in here. And Mack is not a guy you can build your defense around. I won't go as far as to say that, but he's no Aaron Donald. He's no Aaron Donald. Like I don't think. Well, I think depending on how you preface that question, you could probably make a case for that because he hasn't been completely dominant since he's been here. The only thing he's been more of Jadeveon Clowney is healthy. Take take health out of the equation with what I knew that Jadeveon Clowney was gonna do right out of the gate, and he showed it preseason and stuff like that. When we talk about dudes making the bigger plays, when we look at the Ravens game, when we look at the Seahawks game, when we look at the Indianapolis game, when we look at the game he had against the Chiefs, when we look at how he plays against the Patriots, when we're talking about how he played against the Rams and how he was standing dudes like Todd Gurley up, Todd, he would never make them plays against Todd Gurley the way that fucking Jadeveon Clowney was making them plays. He would never make them plays. He do not blow dudes up like that. He can come off of the edge decently and finish some plays, but people just love to sit here and act like he just has this phenomenal technique. And which team do I think will have the biggest turnaround, man? The Browns. The Browns. Um, the Rams and the Eagles are going to increase their production and shit like that. I think they're going to be two of the upper echelon teams when it comes to the NFC, and the Vikings. They only up their stock a little bit too. Um, if we're talking AFC teams, definitely the Browns. I think San Diego. San Diego is going to be much better because they got Forrest Lamp. I think it would be in their best interest for them to go ahead and get a top tackle or something like that. They need to invest in O-line a little bit more. Definitely the 49ers. The 49ers, definitely. The Texans, we definitely going to turn around. I didn't even have to say ourselves because we clearly going to take it around. I'm not even going to. I can't see Mac batting a ball then picking it like, no. No, 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 no. He didn't. He didn't have that type of awareness. And what people don't talk about the most is what Clowney, how he diagnoses plays, and how smart of a football player he actually is. He diagnosed that play because I looked at that interview. I couldn't wait to see his post game interview when that game was over, and when he talked about when he said he said he knew when the running back didn't cut him, he knew he was gonna drop back in that screen. So he faked the fucking quarterback out. He made it seem like he was gonna come in and he was gonna come in and pass rush, and he dipped right back on out, used his limb, batted the ball, caught it. If it wasn't for old buddy holding on to his leg, he easily runs that back in. And then you saw how dirty old buddy had hit him when the play was over. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy. And then Lamar Miller walked that touchdown in like it was too easy. But it was just like this man, Khalil Mack don't make nowhere near the type of plays that when Jadeveon Clowney make plays, he make plays. Like he's splitting defenses, he getting triple teamed, he getting double teamed, he taking the quarterbacks and linemen down with him at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Just like Alfred, just like the episode of Hard Knocks when fucking Brian Cushing ran over Alfred Blue and the dummy, and he was like, got two sacks, the quarterback and the running back. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the type of play it was. Except this was a real game. This wasn't practice. You know what I'm saying? Like how he was blown, how he comes off of the edge, his first step, and now you see him getting like a swing move, like a little arm over move. Like he's developing pass rushing techniques the guys are not even talking about, that they're not even willing to say that he has now. He's it's not that he just does one good thing better than he does others. I will say he has to adjust his speed when it's in terms of when he's judging on getting some sacks, because he missed a lot of sacks, not so much because he wasn't there, it was because he over pursued. His speed is too great. Like dudes aren't gonna like going up against him the next 6, 7 years, 8 years, and he's making plays like that. He's coming off and he's doing this against the better teams in the league. When has Khalil Mack ever played well against Tom Brady? They played the Patriots this year and they got smacked. They got smacked. And I told people it was a podcast that I used to follow that I'm not even gonna mention now. But I told him because I was talking to fans in their comment section when people were talking about the Oakland Raiders because I don't know why people felt like the Oakland Raiders were gonna dominate, like they was gonna do this and they was gonna do that. Their defense was trash. They never truly adjusted. The guys that they got didn't fit their scheme and they didn't work out. It's just like, yeah, it was like 4 or 5. Yeah, no, more than that. He missed like 7 sacks due to just moving too damn quickly, and he didn't adjust his speed and he didn't time it right. When he gets his timing down, because it ain't like dudes are just knocking him out of the play. It's not like old linemen are out here dominating him. And people that sitting here acting like he getting dominated, that ain't true. Go back and go look at his tape. His tape will easily, if Brick Coleman does another breakdown of why Jadeveon Clowney probably isn't getting as much sacks, it's only because his speed is too great. It's not even so much his speed, it's his acceleration, his start to stop it is just phenomenal. I've never seen a defensive player, especially a D lineman of that size, not Julius Peppers, not anybody. I've never seen a defensive player at that size ever be that fast ever in my life. It's never happened. I've never seen it. His strength, his physicality is different from anything that I've seen, even different than JJ. JJ may have more weight and he may be the bulkier player, but the strength that they have, it's just used totally different. The only reason why JJ Watt can probably be made a case for him is because he had the better technique at that time. But he's a risk player too. People act like he didn't take a lot of chances and he just wasn't a smart football player, which was obviously the case. It's been the case for quite some time now. You know what I'm saying? And that we don't have to worry about with J.J. Watt. But when it comes to Jadeveon Clowney, nobody really likes to talk of the smarts that this man has, and that needs to be discussed when we talk about the analysis of what Jadeveon Clowney is and what he will be in the next few years. And once he gets his contract and he doesn't have less things and he can furthermore take care of his family, with the new contract when we end up extending him and Whitney Merciless, because both of those moves need to be made. I feel like more money from JJ's contract might end up getting restructured if he's going to stay on this football team. And I don't think like dudes like Bernard McKinney are going to end up getting re-signed here, especially considering that Dylan Cole, an undrafted free agent, is a cheaper bargain and damn near a better football player in just his first year. And then you got dudes like Zach Cunningham who can end up moving inside if you need to. But the only thing that does, who's starting to D tackle? Yeah, Reader, and I want to say Carlos Watkins. Carlos Watkins is a nice talent. Carlos Watkins is more of a pass rushing defensive tackle. So him together, and especially if they move to a full time 4-3 base, that's gonna be crazy. That is gonna be absolutely ridiculous to watch because having all of that pressure on the interior, you got these dudes. They can easily take up two blockers by themselves. That's not even doing anything but giving the edge defenders even more time to make plays. 40 time actually translate to the field. His ass football feed. Exactly. He's one of the few players whose 40 time actually translate. Like if he gets out in the open field, with the exception, and honestly, the only reason why he really even got caught in that Bengals game is because he took a poor ankle. He honestly could have kept running forward, and he probably could have got way more yards than he actually did in that situation. But you see, his awareness is a hell of a lot better than it was in years past because even though Kareem had got that fumble when he did, he when he got that fumble and he got that ball, his awareness and his hands were right there to go ahead and get that damn fumble return. You know what I'm saying? And then in the following week, he did the exact same game. He did the exact same thing again in the Patriots game. You know what I'm saying? So his shit is absolutely. I mean, it's absolutely. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's good to see that his football technique is just developing at a much higher level than people anticipated. You know what I'm saying? When I talk to guys and when we sit here and we talk about the Jadeveon Clowney, the only reason why people aren't giving Jadeveon Clowney his due diligence is because they talking about sack numbers. Sack numbers will end up coming. I don't really see him. He gives more than sacks. He gives more than run stuff ability. But anybody that just sit like he's just a run stuffer, come on, bro. That's not entirely accurate. It's not entirely accurate. Is he a very good run stuffer? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. He is. But and y'all need to go ahead and y'all need to hit that like button. It just didn't make any sense just to sit here and act like he can only do one thing well and he can't do anything else. That's just not true. And he's made sacks against the better quarterbacks in the league. I mean, so it's not like he's just out here constantly sacking bums like Blake Bortles and this and that. Is he's not, bro. He's not that. Everybody hating on him, bro. He ain't all that, bro. He ain't nobody hating on him. As the hate is just analysis. At the end of the day, people look at the tape and people look at shit that he did and the shit that he was letting up in games on his side of the ball. TFLs do way more. Not only does it change field position, it changes so much. It changes so many aspects to the game, and he gets all kind of pressures and this and that, and he wrecks games. You could say that about him. I can't wait until they do. Fuck no, Malcolm Butler. Man, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. No, Mr. Killer KB. Fuck no. Do you know what team he's on? Do you know who his head coach is? No, I'm not worried about him at all. He is the least of our problems. He's gonna end up. He gonna really start getting abused now that he's in fucking Tennessee, bro. You must have forgot what team he went to. For one, he don't have a pass rush. Number two, he got Logan Ryan as a dude as a fucking as a number two, and he's trash. He was getting abused, and then you got a Dory Jackson behind him. The only person in that secondary who's worth a fuck. He can have a chip on his shoulder all he wants. For one, he ain't on a team that got a better quarterback than us. They running game ain't nowhere near better than us, really. If we being real, I mean, they don't really have anything better than us other than the O line. Outside of that, what are they better than us at? Don't worry, I'll wait. They have a better safety than us, and Kevin Byard. That's it. I can go position. They just don't have it. Yeah, exactly, bro. Come on, man. Yeah, true enough. Yeah, he dropped that ball, but bro, they don't have the speed. They don't have the power. They don't have the tenacity to play with DeAndre Hopkins or fucking Fuller or whoever's behind them. That would be a great move for the Jags if they got Lamar Jackson. I mean, if this it's just a matter of taste and will they do that? Because I don't see that being the Tom Coughlin type of quarterback. Because at the end of the day, that's who's gonna end up making the pick anyway. So I just don't see it. I mean, yeah, I know he's resting his laurels on Blake Bortles, and they like what they saw from Blake Bortles, but we know it was the defense in the run game that got them as successful as they did because it wasn't what the passing game did. So they can sit here and act all day like they really believe in Blake Bortles. If that was the case, then why didn't they give him a 5-year contract instead of a 3-year contract? So because you didn't invest 5 6 years in your so-called starting quarterback, who y'all claim is the future of the Jacksonville Jaguars, then y'all should have extended him much longer than y'all did. But the fact y'all only gave him a 3-year contract is laughable. He should have been questioning that shit. Yeah, I know he got 54 million over a 3-year period, but that ain't shit. Could the taxes to pick up the money? Fuck no, neither one of them. Neither one of them. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Um, I would be surprised if they got either one of them, but I think if they were going to make a case for either one of them, it was going to be Adrian Peterson, just from him being from Texas. Him, I think he's the style of runner that they would need if he was brought here. But I don't see it. He's past it right now, so I just don't see that happening. I just don't. I don't see it happening. Yeah, it's really this whole little situation is it's gonna be fun to watch. You know, in the next couple minutes. You know, I mean, I'm really gonna be keeping my eyes on this shit. And Foreman should be back. I mean, he should be back around training camp or something like that. I'm not sure when he'll end up being cleared or anything like that, but we're gonna have to keep our eyes on it. And y'all go ahead, y'all hit that like button. I only got one like in this video on this video. It's it's definitely something we want to keep our eyes on because I definitely want to see what I can't wait till this draft happens because I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make specific picks. But how many points a game do you see us putting up? Hmm. I'm gonna probably hold off on that question just until I see what the team looks like fully assembled. Just after the draft, I'll be able to answer all of them questions. You know, I'll be able to answer that question a little bit more thoroughly. But honestly, I see us averaging just as it stands right now, even with Deshaun Watson in the line that we got right now, because he did it with a bullshit online last year. He was averaging 34, damn near one point at like 39, damn near 40 points a game. So just just for speculation, I'll say between 28 to 30 points a game. I could say that because of the weapons that he has and the consistency that he has, and the fact that he has great ball placements and dudes don't drop the ball. Of all quarterbacks that played football last year who started as quarterbacks, he had the least amount of drops from all his receivers. He had four on the whole season during his 6.5 games that he played, which is fucking ridiculous. And seven and 6.5 games, the fact that you have the least amount of drop passes than Aaron Rodgers and fucking Brady is crazy. It don't make no sense the fact that you coming in as a young player who don't know nothing about the National Football League to come in and have that type of repertoire already, and his competitiveness is not is going to allow him to make better decisions. And the fact he wants to win games, and he will win games, the big games that count. I just don't see any reason why Deshaun Watson won't average 30 points a game at least. And that's just as the team stands now. I'm not even talking about when the team is fully assembled and we get to see players during the preseason and this and that. We thought preseason was gonna be. Yeah, yeah. My wife had called, so I'm back. But what I'm saying is, damn, what was I saying before I got? I love Deshaun, but I'm pretty sure it's impossible to match 5 touchdown production like he was. No, I won't say that. No, I won't say that. He has entirely too many options. He has entirely too many options to not have that same type of production. And look at the teams that he was doing it against. He was doing it when Kansas City was winning like crazy. You know what I'm saying? I see he can. I think he'll be able to do that no problem. I think he'll be able to do that no problem at all. Averaging 5 TDs. Now, I'm not saying he gonna get 4 TDs, but three TDs, 4 TDs. I'll settle for that. I'll settle for 3 or 4 TDs a game. That's still great ass production. If you average 4 TDs a game, 4 TDs a game times 16. That's four. That's 64 touchdowns. That's 64 touchdowns. That's crazy. Well, just thinking about that. Like if he had like that's absolutely ridiculous. But I don't think it's gonna be that type of production. But he throws a lot of touchdowns. We can't refute the fact that he does not. He throws touchdowns. What one game? What? How many games did he have where he only had one touchdown? The half game that he had against the Jaguars, that was one touchdown. He ran the touchdown on the Cincinnati game, so that's a singular touchdown. He threw two. He threw two he threw two in the damn what's it called game. He threw five the follow. He threw four the well. He threw four the following week. He ran one in. So that's 5 touchdowns that he scored. Period. Well, yeah, and yeah, he threw for four, ran in one. So that's 5 touchdowns. He he threw for five the following week. I want to say the week after he threw like 3 or 4 in the Browns game, and then he threw four in the damn. He threw four touchdowns in the what's it called. So it seems like he's averaging between 3 to 4 touchdowns regardless. So, and that was just in 7 weeks. In 7 weeks of football, he had that type of production. That's unreal. We know Marcus Mariota ain't never gonna give the Tennessee Titans that type of production. And I think I'm gonna end up doing like some season preview videos of the entire NFL and just showing what the chances are gonna be for each team. I'm gonna end up doing streams about that. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get that in order and get that shit in depth so we can talk about that so we can have plenty of other fans come in and get a perspective and say what they are and they not gonna do and what they see and how they see their seasons boom. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut this video a little short. I'm gonna go ahead and get my my mock video. I'm gonna go ahead and get that right. Do you think O'Brien has the confidence to trust Watson late in games now? If he doesn't, then that doesn't bode well for us or this football team, and we're gonna continue to fail. If we start seeing that shit again, if we even see that in one game, then that means he's gonna continue to do it because he's been doing it since 2014 anyway. Until he changes it completely and he doesn't do it and he leaves the game in Deshaun Watson's hands because he's the one on the field who has to make the plays. Don't leave it in Lamar Miller's hands at the end of the game to go ahead and be the one. If you're gonna be trusting anybody in that situation to be a playmaker to get you a first down or move the field so that you can run a timeout, is DeAndre Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? Or you use Foreman in those short situations like that if you really need to get some tough yards, if you need 4 or 5 yards to move, and we not running the right scheme for fucking Lamar Miller for him to even be successful as he should be. Because there's no reason why he shouldn't be no 1,400, 1,500 yards. There's no reason he shouldn't have that. It's really not. There's no reason he shouldn't have that, and there's no reason why he shouldn't have at least 500 yards receiving and like 6 touchdowns. We not running no screens. We not running no angle routes. We not running no. We not really dumping the ball off to him. And did y'all know that Lamar Miller was like the number one, like the number one running back in terms of pass catching efficiency? Did y'all know that? I mean, because everybody be talking about we need to trade him and shit like that. I just want y'all to know what we have in Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller, when he gets the ball, they said that when this man catches the ball, I can't remember if he was number one or number two. I want to say he was number one, he's one of the best. He's one of the top three pass blockers when it comes to picking up the blitz and shit like that in the league. But dudes love to sit here and talk about his rushing production when he produces in various other ways, but dudes act like they don't want to see that because all they want to do is see him rushing touchdown when our offensive scheme doesn't even fit his skill set. He's never dropped the pass. He's never dropped the pass. He's the most efficient catching running back in the league. Go look that up. You can go on Texas. I forgot. I don't know if it was on Instagram and I saw on Texans territory or something like that. I know I just seen it. Y'all can just get on and put Lamar Miller and put in Lamar Miller news or some shit like that or the catch rate or some shit like that. And he is by far the most efficient pass catcher out of the backfield in the league. Do you know who that's over? That's over Le'Veon Bell. That's over and they saying Le'Veon is this and that, but Lamar Miller ain't getting nowhere near his credit. He's not being talked about like that. But we do our due diligence. We look up the news. We find out the news, and we're gonna report the news the right way because a lot of dudes is not gonna talk about this. I'm telling y'all this shit. We're gonna end up talking about this shit probably tomorrow night on South Sports when I have a bigger audience because it's not gonna be enough for me just to talk on this channel just to tell y'all what we have in Lamar Miller when we can talk about that shit tomorrow night on Wednesday on South Sports. Make sure y'all tune in because it's gonna probably end up being another great show, just like it was last week when y'all was the real MVPs and y'all donated over $440 to Honcho, to help save the sauce. So, even for that, I appreciate that. And shout out to Honcho. Shout out to the rest of the round table, everybody who came and joined the screen. Wise, Hector Flores, Tenny, Ray, he's not gonna be doing any videos right now for a little while. He got a little situation that he had to deal with. If you seen his last stream, he talked about that and did for a few hours, and he gave all his reasons. So I'm not gonna go into that. You got Parrish, you got Sticky, you got Spitz, and everybody that's contributing to the sauce. Rising Phoenix, Braylon, and they putting out all this information, so that we can go ahead and make sure that Houston Texans fans is up on game and y'all don't just sound like the rest of these casual fans that exist in around the NFL because it's noteworthy that y'all know what the hell's going on with y'all team and y'all get the real news from real people. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call an end to this video because I'm gonna get ready to get my mock draft video set up. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set the event so I can give y'all enough time because I need to go ahead and write down and make my list of names so I can go ahead and talk about these players. And I'll probably do that. I'll probably have that set up for the next 30 minutes or so because I gotta get ready to eat. I got a couple other things in here that I gotta tidy up before my wife to get home. So y'all make sure y'all come through in that mock draft video. I'll probably have it up and running in the next 20, 30 minutes. It might be even less. It might be like 10 minutes. So y'all make sure y'all follow through. Welcome to Third Coast Sports TV. I'm your host, Wink, and I appreciate y'all following through.